Hey everybody, Sean again. It is Monday, July 3rd, and I am freshly back from the MABDR. We got back on Thursday. I'm back at the Charlotte area now, and just wanted to, I realized before we took off that I never did a video on all the different things I did to the bike. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick how it looks. This is how we went, or how I packed it for the MABDR, and then I'm going to give it a good wash because it's filthy, and then I'll walk through the bike and kind of just show you all the parts I put on it. I wanted to do this video prior to showing you the MABDR video. So if you have watched some of my videos, you know that we tried the MABDR back in November. We got snowed out and we finished it there at the end of June. So after I get this video posted, I'll go ahead and put the entire MABDR thing up. It's not going to be a huge series or anything. There's plenty of those. I just wanted to show you some clips from our trip. We made it with the second leg in June. We did it from Harrisonburg, Virginia, all the way up to the New York line. So it was a good solid 5 days of riding, well over 1,000 miles. But anyway, let me just show you the bike real quick. So, as you can see, I've got it pretty well packed up. Got the tusk luggage on there. I'm going to take that off and get it washed. But I'll walk you through the parts, the tires, all the bits and bobs that I put it on after I get it cleaned up. You can see down there, it's got a lot of that gravel junk on it from all the gravel roads up in PA. We had an absolute blast. Just a lot of fun. A lot of really good gravel roads in PA. So anyway, let me get this thing cleaned up and we'll walk around it real quick. Alright, so she's all clean, so let's go ahead and do a quick walk around. I'll give you this breakdown on what I've put on this bike. Went a little bit overboard, as I've been known to do. But boy, did it run great on the MABDR, and it was just absolute beast on that thing for what it is. It's a 300, obviously. It's not going to fly down the highway, but it handled every single thing that the MABDR is with ease. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Alright, so we'll start up front. Right up from the get-go here, we'll start in the cockpit. I've got the Garmin GPS mount for my Zumo there. It's got a 1-inch arm ram extension there with a ram ball mount. That fits perfectly onto the Rally's GPS bar there. Worked great throughout the whole trip. Over here, we got the SRC Moto USB charger. It's I went with the 2 USB ports there. They make one that's just a cigarette lighter. I wanted just the USB-A ports there. So that's the electronics. Both of these are wired into the auxiliary spot down there. You can kind of see. I did a video on this, but I never published it. I made a Y connector for the auxiliary ports there. I found the actual connectors online, and I made a little pigtail Y connector so I can put 2 devices onto that auxiliary port, so that works out well. Still in the cockpit here, we got the Pro Taper CRF contour bars, the CRF or CR High, excuse me, not CRF, CR High handlebars. Those worked out pretty good. And along with that is the Pro Taper universal mounts. They call them suspension mounts. I got those on Amazon. I think they're about $40. Moving out to the handlebars here. Out of the handlebars, got the Pro Taper pillow top grips. I like the gray. They're getting a little dingy just from my gloves and stuff, but they're pretty comfortable grips. I resisted putting heated grips on this because I'm hoping it's just going to be summer fun on this bike, but I don't know. I might end up putting heated grips on it. Let's see, hand grips, or excuse me, the hand guards. These are the Cerbis Rally Pro X aluminum hand guards. It's got metal all the way through it. It's just covered in plastic here. You can kind of see. Those are made in Italy. Again, didn't drop the bike, knock wood, so didn't have to really test those out too much. And then moving down here while we're still up in the front, out of the cockpit here, you got the Pirelli MT21 tires. So that was It was decent. I think that the Dunlop D606 had better grip. I washed out a couple times with these, but not bad. It gripped gravel pretty good. Not a bad setup. Also in the front here, I did a suspension video as well. I haven't posted it just because I think it's terrible. But if you do want to see the suspension video I made, it's not great, but I spent most of the time shooting in between me working. But did the front fork spring, a heavier duty fork spring in the front there. All right, so moving back. All right, so moving back here, you got the Flatland Racing skid plate, which was nice, fits perfectly on there. I don't get into that whole plastic versus metal debate. I think I want something solid down there, and it was solid. Took a few dings and pings on the MABDR, but nothing bad. Those are the Zeta aluminum foot pegs in red. I probably could have gone with a cheaper brand there, but they work great. Over here you have these are just Amazon plastic frame guards. They just zip tie right on there. Easy peasy to put those on. I think they were about 30 bucks on Amazon. Okay, also in the rear here, come around this way, you can't really see it from that side, but in there is the YSS Enduro suspension rear shock absorber. I went with the Enduro, which is the heavier version. I went with a 240 pound version just because I knew I would be doing some heavy duty riding on it. I wanted as much suspension as I could get out of it, and that was the biggest one that YSS had. Okay, moving back still. I got the Yoshimura RS4 full system exhaust. This was probably a splurge I didn't really need to make, but I was looking at the Moto X one that you can order on Biker Bits from Thailand. By the time you add shipping and all that stuff into that, it's almost the same price. Yoshi's still a little bit more expensive, probably by about 75 to 100 bucks, depending on the shipping deal you get. But it's a bit loud for my taste. Great exhaust. I partnered that with the 550 for Performance ECU, which is technically up front, but I figured I'd talk about it with the exhaust here. The 550 Performance ECU and this exhaust was a really good combination. Woke the bike up a little bit, smoothed out all the fueling. I also put a spark arrestor in because I do ride a lot of national parks and things like that, so I wanted to be compliant there. Worked out really well on the long trip. Did have to wear earplugs most of the time just because it is a bit noisy. The tail rack, I'm not sure what brand this is. This came with the bike. Previous owner put that on. One thing I will say is that these bolts come out. They'll rattle loose, so make sure you're using blue Loctite on those if you do get a rally or have a rally. Ask me how I know. I've lost 2 of them already. Had to scour the internet to try to find replacement bolts and a spacer. The spacer was the bigger problem. These plastic spacers that are down in here are not easy to find. I had to buy like a spacer kit to replace that. And then let's see, tail tidy here is just an Amazon piece. It was probably about 30 bucks. A little LED plate light that goes on that. That's held up fine, no issues there. And then, let's see, the rear tire. Yep, so the rear tire, I know it's a pretty common combination here, but this is the Dunlop D606 in the rear. Did fantastic in gravel, absolutely fantastic. Lots and lots of grip. Really enjoyed riding with that. So that was fun. I'd probably buy that tire again. It was good. I went with some stickers on this thing. I usually a little particular about stickers, but got my Yoshimura sticker on there, the Honda HRC Racing stickers. They came with a user manual. They were in the user manual. I got my 105 Brewing Company. That's for a brewery out in Colorado that I went to. Just a cool sticker, bear drinking a beer. How's that not cool? Got my Sasquatch sticker on this side. HRC again on this side, and then the BDR sticker. So, oh, don't forget, Moto Camp Nerd sticker. Shout out to Ben and Mary at Moto Camp Nerd. I did take some of their gear with me on this trip. Performed flawlessly as always. I got a new cook set for my birthday, so on Father's Day. So that about does it. I don't think I'm going to do much more to this bike, to be honest with you. I think I am at a point where I've got everything I need on it. I may play around with a rear sprocket. Not sure on that. We'll take a look, but I think that's all I'm going to do. It's tricked out pretty well. Probably spent more money than I should have on it. But to me, man, that's my favorite part is actually the build. Taking a basic stock bike and making it your own. Doing some cool stuff on it. Cool mods. I like wrenching on it. It's been fun. But yeah, it was great on the MABDR. Hopefully we can get out and do other BDRs. I know my buddy Craig's talking about Idaho. The Northeastern BDR seems pretty attractive as well. Maybe next summer for that one. I definitely don't want to do that in the fall or winter. But the video from the BDR folks is really good on that. Wait, before you go, I almost forgot. One of my favorite mods so far on the Rally has been this Rally Raid extended side stand. This thing, if you've seen one or if you've ridden one, you know that this bike leans over way far. When you put that suspension on, it makes it lean over even further. So this is a Rally Raid extended heavier duty side stand. I tend to put my foot on the foot peg and swing my leg over when mounting the bike. So this was a crucial piece for me. All right, that's going to do it for me for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and think about subscribing. If you made it with me this far, appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
That's all I have to say about that.